So, welcome back everybody to my gizmek deck profile. So a few days ago I posted a video about my going first gizmek deck and it went terribly wrong. So I wanted to make a going second gizmek deck. And so yesterday I went to locals and I lost again very hard. I went 1-4, 1-3. Only won against Tier Branded. And I lost all the other matches very hard. My matchups were game 1. I don't really remember what I played game 1. Oh, I played full branded Despia, and that deck just goes very hard. I could have won, but I just made a misplay, so we never went to a game 3 sadly. Game 2 I played against Runic. And surprise, surprise, I took out all except one of my Chaos Hunters because I thought was like, oh, nobody's playing Runic, and then of course people play Runic. I did take out my token collectors and nobody played Swordsoul, so God thank me for that. Game 3 was against Bandit Tier. I won that one. I lost the first round and won the second and the third. And the fourth round was against, Tier Element, the Shizu Tier. The Shufflers really hurt my deck, so don't go against the Tier 0 format with this deck for now, because I did make a going second list. I made some changes, and I'm here to share you those changes. So let's get in to the main deck. We play 3 Gizmek Inaba. The starter of this deck, an amazing card. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one monster with equal attack and defense from your hand. It's an amazing starter. This gets so much in rotation. This is one of the strongest cards. This card got banished and I hated it so much, because I could have stolen someone's with Relinquish Anima. I could have stolen some monsters to link away and use for more fodder, and oh my god, it was so sad to see. But this is really the strongest card. I really want to see this in my opening hand, and I want to keep it top 3. Next up is our Gizmek Naganaki. I have removed this from 3 to 2 because you do not want to see this in your opening hand too much. Don't want to clog your opening hand too much. But this is a very strong card. It says that you can tribute a monster with equal attack and defense from your field, and then special summon one from your deck with the same equal attack and defense but lower level than the tributed monster. So you can, for instance, tribute the Gizmek Hirochi, then special summon something that's lower. For instance, the Gizmek Mamaki, use Mamaki effect to discard and special summon from or add to hand. Then you can special summon the Gizmek Hirochi, and then you can go full combo from there. You can link this off. And when this card is in the so that's the combo you can play with this card when it's in the graveyard. Oh, by the way, this is also a graveyard effect. I will come back to that. When it is in the graveyard, you can banish it for cost, and then you can add one of your face down banished cards back to your hand. So it has way more things also in the graveyard. The Inaba, this card says that you can banish this card, target a machine banish this card. Target a machine monster on the field, and its attack becomes the combined original attack of all machine monsters currently on the field, with equal attack and defense. So this is like your OTK potential card. It's very crazy, very crazy. By the way, I also played this deck more in the access code route or other routes. So I'm still looking to make this. I need to play more like this card is more in rotation, so that you can OTK in other ways than having to link off. So next up is Gizmek Tinaguki. This card is not a card you really want to see because its normal / special summon effect is the worst of the worst. Unless you can really can make it work with the field spell. But when this card is normal special summon, you can take a monster with equal attack and defense and put it on top of your deck. That's it. But the craziest thing is, when this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, target a machine monster with equal attack and defense, and special summon that card in defense position. That's so crazy to get more in rotation. That's like It's amazing. For instance, normal summon, special summon, you can use effect. Maybe they negate it, link off, and then you can special summon again for OTK plays, etc. So I really like this card at 3, and this card really helps with other tech cards in the deck that I have, and I will show you that one later. Next up is Gizmek Arakami. Gizmek Arakami is just a special summon from your hand when you control a monster with equal attack and defense. That's it. And it's an 1850, it's a special summon, doesn't have to be defense. So it's always a link offer. And the crazy card of this, when this card is in the graveyard, of course, you can banish this card. Then target a monster from the field. Then you can send a card from your deck to the graveyard with equal attack and defense, of course, but a level less than the targeted monster on the field. So you can send your Frog. You can send your Naganaki, a lot of course, or when you have one of your level 10 or 10 monsters, you can send Gizmek Irochi, so you can get Gizmek Irochi into the place. So that's very sick. Next up is one Gizmek Yuka. In my last video, I thought that I really wanted to cut this card, but after making it going second build, I really like this card at 1. Because you can just special summon a card from your deck. That's so crazy. That effect is so crazy. It's so cool. Because when this card is on the field, every time your opponent summons a monster, the normal or special summons a monster, they take 300 damage. That's not really crazy. When a monster is special summoned from the extra deck, you can special summon this card. That's a very cool effect. And when this card is normal special summon, you target a monster your opponent controls, and then you can special summon a monster from your deck with equal attack and defense, but also with the attribute of the opponent's monster. And because all the cards have every attribute you can ask for, this card becomes very crazy. So I really like this card. I only had to resolve it once, but it was very good. And it's also an Earth monster. Keep that in mind. The next up is Gizmek Makami. Gizmek Makami is still an amazing card. I really like this card. Never not wanted to see it. You can normal summon this card when you have 6 or more banished. So that's cool. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can discard a monster to add a monster with equal attack and defense to your hand. So that's a cool effect. And when this card is destroyed while in the monster zone, you can return 6 of your banished cards back. But you're more using it for its second effect to get one of your other monsters that you really want in the graveyard for more follow-up in your graveyard. And also to add a Gizmek Irochi to your hand. Or one of your other monsters that you can special summon. Next up is, well, there he is, our big boss monster, the lovely Gizmek Irochi. Quick effect, you can banish 8 cards to special summon this card, that's it. And the other effect is you can banish face down, of course, all cards have to be banished face down. The second effect is you can banish 3 cards from your extra deck to pop a face-up monster on the field. Well, yeah, that's it. Keep in mind that these effects can only be once each, so you can special summon and destroy in the same turn. So mostly you can, for instance, use it in the opponent's end phase, and then you can use the other effect if you want to, or you can also summon it back again. Just depends on what you want. The only downside, there's only one downside about this card, and it's a dark. And well, Bystials, I did not get hit by a Bystial, but I had to play around them, or else I would have OTK'd that Tearlament Bystial, Shizu from the last. Next up is Gizmek Okami. I bombed this card to 2 from 1, because now we're going second. This card can special summon itself if there are 2 or more monsters special summoned from the extra deck on the field. So that's interesting. And well, the second effect is that you can pay 1500 life points to destroy all special summon monsters from the extra deck. So that is very, very crazy. Also, if this card is sent to the graveyard, while on the field, you can banish a card from that graveyard. I forgot this effect so many times. I could have used it on Kid Kalos. No. That sucked so much. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Next up is Gizmek Kaku. I only play one Gizmek Kaku because it's very much searchable. It's very much specialable. His effect says that you can special summon this card if there is a monster in the extra monster zone. And then his second effect is you can take that monster in the extra monster zone and equip it to discard maximum 1, so it can only be 1. And then when this card destroys a opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon the equipped monster to your side of the field. So it's just a card to get over other cards, and that's very, very sick to play. I think this card is cool. I maybe want to bump it up to 2 that when you have you banished it, but I really want to that when this card is banished you can have more ways to get it back, but it's just very, very hard. That's with all the Gizmek monsters. So let's get back to some other monsters. I played 3 level 10 kaijus. Sadly they are light, but I played these level 10 kaijus for the fact that we have some rank 10 place we can go in with one other card in my extra deck. And that's actually the only real reason why they are there. That if you open 2 kaijus you can have that combo, or maybe look into a way to get them. With these kaijus they served me so amazingly well against every deck except the runic, because I never seen this card, and they ghost unlock me, and they rivalried me, and they tikaboot me, and they runic me. Well, it's runic, okay, it's runic, so it is what it is. But I really like this kaiju. Sadly there is no other rank 10 kaiju, but I think those rank 10 plays, I will show you later, will be removed for some other cards, but I just don't know what yet. So next up is one Night Express Knight. Night Express Knight is just a rank 10 that you can normal summon, but its attacks become 0. But this is just a normal summon you can make to go into your rank 10 train plays, which I will show you later. Also, this card can be special summoned for my attack card in the spell zone, which I will show you later. But yeah, it's a cool card. I've never really seen it, but I did search it because hey, it's a 3k body if needed, right? So next up is another funny tech I play, but I won't play again, is the Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon tech. I will show you it later, but most of the cards you can't go into this place because you banish them most of the time. So maybe I have to look for a way to play around it, so this doesn't happen as much, but it's very hard to do so in this meta. The only hand trap I play is for the last 2 monsters is Nibiru. If people don't play around it, Nibiru is very strong, but everybody played around Nibiru this yesterday, so I won't play Nibiru again, I think, but maybe something else. I just don't know what yet, because you also can play Bestials, of course, because they are always strong. So maybe I think I will cut them out for Bestials. But I just don't know yet, because Bestials are expensive. I don't have Magnamut, I only have 1 Sorneer. Then we're going for the spells, because we don't have trap cards, so let's get in. Our first is the Sacred Scrolls of the Gizmek Legend. It's the Feud spell. The Feud spell is very crazy for its second effect, but his first effect is what you most use. His first effect says you can, from the top of your deck, you can excavate 3 cards and then add a Gizmek and banish the rest. So it's just an added card, which we want. Second up, we go for when you special summon a machine. When you special summon a machine monster with equal attack and defense, this gets a counter. And with 10 counters, Now neither player can activate monster effects with monsters that do not have equal attack and defense. So that's a cool, crazy card you can play. But you will probably never see these 10 counters when you're in a going second deck. You're mostly using it for the search. We have 2 Pot of Desires. For some reason, I don't know why. I drew 2 cards. I break so much against every deck I played against. It's crazy. I drew these 2 times. My tech card I drew 2 times. But I think playing 2 of them is just mandatory. I also played 1 Pot of Extravagance, but I never used this card because I got these 2, and when you activate this card, you can banish 3 or 6 cards from your extra deck, and then you can draw cards amount of the cards you banish. So 3 you can draw 1, and 6 you can draw 2, but you cannot draw cards by card effects after this card is resolved. So that's not good, okay? I will probably cut this out for something else. Maybe a Raigeki. Oh no, I will play way more back row remove. Way more back row remove. Which I will show you which card to look for. Next up is the tech card, Urgent Schedule. When your opponent controls more monsters than you can special summon 2 Earth Machine monsters with 1 that has to be 4 or lower, and 1 has to be 5 or higher. So the Earth monsters you can special summon are Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, which you likely will not do for reasons I will tell you later. Night Express Knight you can use for its 5 or higher, or this card, but their effects are negated and they are special in defense, so keep in mind. But you can put this in rotation this way. And this is the only card I have for now that is like 4 or lower, and you want in rotation either, so that's cool. And you don't care about this normal score. When this set card is destroyed, you can add a rank 10 Earth Machine monster to your deck. So there's only 1 for that, but it's still something extra. And I will put this one to 1 because it's an amazing starter to have. But I drew 2, and you never want to see 2. If you don't draw it, it's not the worst. You can always play around it. It's just something extra. I will cut it down to 1 for more back room. Then we go to our cards that are you only have one-offs in the deck. One Change of Heart, because this card is so powerful. This card is it's amazing. You get rid of one of their cards, they can't do anything with it anymore. You have their power if need be. It's crazy. The same thing with Mind Control. Mind Control only says you cannot attack with the monster and cannot be tributed, but who cares? You can use it for link plays, and that's why it's here for it. These cards are so crazy. I hope they don't never go to 2. Never. Oh my god. I was always happy to see that. Then we play triple tactic talents for the reason that you can or draw or take a monster or look at their hand. I mostly use it for take one of their monsters so that you can fusion summon or link summon with them. Or maybe they have like rank 8s or rank 10s you can use. Yes, I think it's a cool card. I think 1 is a perfect amount because they will probably never ever use their not much monster effects because you're trying to get rid of them as fast as possible. One Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is amazing. Every monster you want to have in the graveyard. It's an amazing card. You have so many plays when you see Foolish Burial. It's crazy. Good job. One Harpist Feather Duster. Play more back row remove. I'll play Twin Twisters, Cosmic Cyclone. No, I don't think Cosmic Cyclone. I think I want more destruction cards for more cards because I want as least spell trap cards as possible on the field when you try to OTK them or break their board and let them have as less resources. And our last card is Gear Town. Gear Town is a very crazy card that you can search with the Ancient Gear Link monster. And then you can show it with the Link monster to make one monster of them 0. And then if this card is destroyed, you can special summon one Ancient Gear monster. And because Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon is 3000, it has so many synergies with your deck. It's a funny tech, but I think you can play maybe some other cards for those two cards instead. But I have to look at what those combos are. So that was the main deck, so let's get into the action. We play one Salamangreat Mirage, because you have some normal summons that you want to have in the graveyard, so you can have more plays. There are only really two you can use, that are the Naganaki, the rank 2, and the gizmek Nabi, the rabbit. Those are actually the only two, and it's of course more fodder for your Exoscope dog. I play one Linguivo because people play the Iblilov if I locals, and you can get rid of that card with this card. So that's the only reason I play it. You play one Relinquished Anima. You can summon Relinquished Anima because of this card, and then you can just suck up some cards if needed to. I really needed to get this card way more in rotation to summon this card to break boards way more easily and go for game. Next up are the Link 2 cards. I play one IP Masquerena. It's a very strong card, always in your back pocket, where you have to go first, where you have to go second to build a board for them and hopefully not break. This probably will get imperfect. The next rank 2 card is Midnight Early. Midnight Early is in here because it's a very good rank 2 card that you can use for cards to get into the graveyard to use their effects. And it's also crazy because it's a fire card, and Almirage is probably not a fire monster you can easily get into the graveyard, which Midnight Early you can. Also, Midnight Early says that when a card activates an effect where he points to, so it's probably here, you can negate it. Target the monster and negate it. And then when this card is destroyed, you can special summon it. It's very cool. It's a very strong card. I really like this card. I summoned this card like one of my most linked monsters, my third most linked monster. Next up is Nightmare Cerberus. Just get rid of a card and a discard so you can get more cards in rotation. I think I will probably play, how's it called? That Link monster, that Fire Link monster. It's also a Nightmare Phoenix. I'll also play Nightmare Phoenix to put more back row, because back row you don't. Next up is the Ancient Gear Ballista. Ancient Gear Ballista. When this card is summoned, you can search a Ancient Gear monster or the Gear Town. And then the second effect is you can target one face-up spell card on your field and one monster they control. Destroy that field spell or that open spell card, and then make their attack 0. So they will always have 0 attack. And then you activate the field spell to summon Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. And then you can run Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon up. For instance, when you use his second effect, you target him, he gains 3000 plus 4500, so it will be very strong, so it will be at 7500 damage already. So you only need 500 more damage, or to buff it up 500 more, or maybe summon more machine monsters to get over that 0 monster. So that's why this card is pretty cool. It gets you more OTK potential. Next up is Thisdeck. Thisdeck is here for when you want to make do damage to, well, for defense position monsters, because they will probably summon a lot of monsters in defense position, and this gives piercing to the cards it points to, and also itself has piercing damage, so that's cool. This can be used for Brawl Sword Ring is in this deck. It can be used for the rank 10 trains, so that's it's an interesting card. We play one Nightmare Cerberus. This is my first most summoned card in this whole game, because Mirror Jade, you can out Mirror Jade with this. You can out so many cards with this card. It's very crazy. I really love this card. It's a 10 out of 10. It will always stay in this deck, and I really love I got this card. Just to say that. Our last link 3 is Lackluster Soldier and for Soldier of Chaos. I think it's a very strong card, but I never summoned it. I think I will probably get this out of here, because maybe I want some more wind monsters if possible that I can summon, and maybe some water link monsters, which I can do because I have some nightmare cards and I can have that nightmare card link monster, so to have more access code pops. I think that will be a play I will make, but I never summon this card. One of my rank 4 is Borosaur Dragon. Borosaur Dragon is just a hopefully OTK / destroy cards you control. It's cool, it's strong. I really like the card. And also gold rare. And our last link monster is Access Code Talker. This card wins you games easily. You're trying to get into this card. It has 3500 attack if you make it with your Nightmare Unicorn. It's yes, thank you. Thank you. Oh. And then for the last cards we have our rank 2, so Sky Palace, Gang Aridal, of Drei. It takes 2 level 10 monsters, and you can detach 1 to pop a card on the field and they take 1000 damage. It's just something extra if they for some reason get rid of your Super Dreadnought Gustav Max. You can summon this card with 2 level 10, detach a card, and then they take 2000 damage. And then when you do that, you can summon Super Dreadnought Cannon Juggernaut Liebe on top of it. You can detach a card on this from this card, and then it gains 2000, so it has 6000 in total. Only this card can attack, and this card can attack monsters up on the amount of materials it has +1. So it probably, if you do it, will always have 1 extra material on it, so it can attack twice. So if you play it smart and you have this card underneath Thisdeck, so keep in mind where you place your cards. This card is actually a 6000 that has piercing. Oh my god, that's crazy. So this was on the extra deck. I think I will just cut out this package because there are just way too many interruptions in this day and age to make this very liable, or at least take out 1 of the cards for some extra link plays, but I just don't know what link monsters I can use in a machine deck. So I will have to look for that. So our last is the side deck. The side deck is, of course, it depends on your locals, and I just didn't really know what I wanted for the side deck. So in my side deck I have Contact C because we have a lot of fusion summon decks, and they really have to play around this card and have a lot of resources they are needed to use to make this viable. So I think it's a good card for my locals. I played sadly 1 Chaos Hunter. In my last deck profile I run 3, but nobody played Runic, and then today you play Runic. Luckily I cut this card to 1. I actually wanted to keep 1 Token Collector instead of Chaos Hunter, because I just dislike Sword Soul, but then I kept in mind I know how to play around Sword Soul. I have played around the deck so many times. I know where their fall is, so I probably can use 1 Chaos Hunter. I did draw my Chaos Hunter, but he had Tikaboo, he had Rivalry, so it was very, very hard to summon Chaos Hunter. Next up is 2-dimensional barriers. This did come up, and it's just a good card. I side this in against a lot of decks, but I mostly use this as a smokescreen when I think they want me to go second if I beat them hard enough. Upon this, I also play 2 Trap Trick to search this card and search other cards that I will show you after this. It's very, very strong. Then I also play 3 Artifact Sanctums. And of course, well, I don't have to say it one side. You can search this card with Trap Trick. And it's just a very strong combo. I didn't never side it in, but I just don't know what I want to have in my side deck yet. Because Tier is not that strong anymore. Oh, well, it is strong, but not much played. So I just don't know yet. And my last 3 cards are Draw and Luckbird, because some people play Dark World, and I just don't want Dark Worlds to have fun. Some people play Drytron, and I don't want Drytron to have fun. And I just want to OTK people, okay? So this makes them to make it that they have a lesser end board. And Dark World just can't do anything anymore. So this was my deck profile for the Gizmeks. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you had some fun, and hopefully you know what I'm trying to build. And I'm really trying to make Gizmeks a good deck. So there will probably be way more deck profiles. But my next deck profile will probably be when I actually have some better scores than just 1 in 3, of course. But I did learn a lot about the deck. I did learn a lot about my playstyles. I just have to look about the extra deck, what I want to remove and what I want to add to make my plays way more easy, and have access code maybe some more fodder, maybe more ways to, or easier ways to sum into access code. Because the only way I can go into access code is because of the Gizmeks itself, because they swarm very good and well. But that's actually just it. So thank you all for watching, and have a nice day.